Hello, community! Freeman's here. Can't believe it's day 22 of Conscious Partnership. Whoa, we've been doing 30 days.
It's pretty good.
If you haven't met us,
Haven't missed a day.
We haven't missed one. It's a big deal. If you haven't met us, we're the Freemans, authors, speakers, social entrepreneurs, and really ambassadors for partnerships thriving physically, financially, and spiritually. We believe to our core that couples can be thriving in all of those areas. And today's conscious partnership topic is, what is it?
Go ahead.
It's about how do we leverage each other's differences and skills? And why this is so important is that we want to be different, right? So many couples are filling their calendars with things they don't enjoy. They don't really know how do we play off of each other's differences, especially a lot of couples who work together. Or not even that you have to be in the same business. Maybe you're around each other a lot. A lot of stress or frustration can come up if we don't know how to leverage each other's differences.
So just imagine all that put aside. What we're talking about here is true fulfillment. How can you be most fulfilled in your partnership? And the answer really is, like the term we use is zone of genius. It's really about staying in your zone of genius. It's about being a support for your partner, realizing and staying in their zone of genius. We really feel like not duplicating efforts. And if you have a business, this makes a lot of sense. But just in general life, think about the amount of time that each of us individually spend in areas that maybe we don't necessarily want to do or is not our strength. And so how do we feel? We feel like we have to retreat a little bit. We're not going to be as self-expressed. And so imagine a partnership where both people are fulfilled. Now, how does that happen? Going back to our point, it's about leveraging our zone of genius, leveraging your partner's strengths, and that really is why we wanted to bring this topic up. So the first question becomes, how do I find that out? So how do you find your zone of genius? Well, honestly, it just comes from a place of, what do I love to do? What is it that comes so easily and so naturally to me that I don't even realize it is difficult for other people? And for me, what my thing is connecting with people and ultimately speaking in front of large groups of people. Now, I do realize that is difficult for some because that's just well known, but it comes very easily to me, and I kind of forget that it doesn't come as easily to people. And I love doing it, and time goes by so fast when I'm speaking, and I get great feedback from the difference in the contribution I make. So that's how I found my zone of genius, and it really started with, how do I feel? I feel alive. I feel like my life's purpose when I'm speaking, and so that is my zone of genius. And so the goal for me is, since I've discovered that, how do I more consistently stay in that? So how would you say you discovered your zone?
Well, I think finding it by finding what isn't it. So trying to do things and feeling that resistance, feeling that frustration when I was trying to do things that was not my ZOG. I even run into it now, and it's like I start to get this like tension and stress, and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, this is not my zone of genius. I'm not doing that anymore. And either we see if it's Aaron's ZOG or we refer it out. And that's what's beautiful about today's economy and today's business structures is that we can defer resources out there. And so many people are doing things they don't even enjoy. Even if you're not in business together, is that cleaning? Can you defer that? Can you defer your yard services? What about shopping for you? Things that take you out of food prep. Taking away things that for you are draining your energy. When you're in your ZOG, you are creating more energy. You are excited. You are expanding. When you're not, you're losing energy. You lose inspiration. And people will try to just, well, no, I'm not going to defer that resource out because that'll cost money. And so we hold on to money instead of money being a facilitator and being like, well, this actually removes energy from me to be doing this activity. I'm going to invest in someone else doing this. So to answer your question, how I found it was by finding things that aren't my zone of genius and feeling that resistance, feeling that stress. I think people who say, I'm stressed, I'm so busy, that's just an excuse for doing way too many things that are out of your zone.
So reiterating how you can discover this, if you make a list, go over like 3 days and make a list of all the activities that you did. And when you have that list, make an arrow next to each of the activities. Did your energy go up? Did your energy stay the same, pretty flat, or did it go down? And then you want to go back and look at all of the activities that you had a down arrow, that had your energy go down, and ask this question that Jocelyn brought up. Is there someone I can delegate this to? Is this an activity I can just stop doing altogether? And then lastly, is there a way I can reframe my context behind doing this? So let me just touch on that. Just try it out. We really want to look for are you open to a 5 to 10% bump or increase in your energy throughout the day? And so that's all we're really looking for. So I think looking at what you can delete or delegate, and then not having to be so concerned, but maybe there are some activities that you can reframe, meaning I go and look at my finances and that drains my energy because it seems like energy or the resources could potentially run out, and I get stressed over thinking about just having these finances go down or start to diminish. So what about reframing that context? Well, what if me going and looking at my finances and doing my finances is really empowering? Why? Because this is my flow of energy. This is how I circulate energy going out, knowing that when I have energy go out, it's going to come back, right? So that would be a reframe context for an activity.
Awesome.
Yeah, so then lastly, the question is, okay, how do we stay in this zone more and more? And it really is, for one, knowing your partner's zone of genius. And then so you can help facilitate these areas in what your partner should not be doing, encouraging them to stay in their zone, asking great questions about how was your energy today? How was your energy in that activity? What have you been experiencing? And then ultimately, really why this topic came up is because we even find for ourselves, we have one business in particular that is referral marketing around health and wellness, transforming world health and finances. And there are a set of activities like connecting with new people, explaining what our services are, and following up with people. So there's a certain set of activities, and yet Jocelyn and I would do all of them together simultaneously. So we were not only duplicating work, but we were doing things that were out of our zone. So looking at our two zones, Jocelyn is so great at listening to people, not from their concerns, but their own greatness, and providing performance actions for them to accelerate what they're up to. So more of a coaching type of role where I connect with people, I meet new people. So for us to both stay in those pieces of our business has accelerated our business overall, and I'm not trying to do something like performance coaching with somebody just because the business requires it, but I'm staying in the places that my zone and my talents are best used.
Yeah, so really find out with each other what are your differences, and love that. Love that you're different. A lot of couples even say, like, I just feel like we're really different, and I don't know how to deal with that. I feel like I like to do this and they like to do this, and it's like, you don't want to be doing everything together. You don't want to have everything the same. Those differences are what makes you a power couple. It's really like you will have the overlap, those things that you do love to do together, and you're creating, that's where the vision that we talk about in our book is so important. When you have that vision and you're both leveraging your differences and your skills to move into that vision, but you don't want to be the same. So really celebrate each other's differences and find out how each person can stay in that zone where they're thriving as much as possible. So please write any comments, questions, feedback. We'd love to hear from you all. If you haven't connected to our page before, please like us, find your favorite social media channel. We've got some exciting new announcements coming really soon of things we're launching for couples. We are creating a tribe around the world. So we're the Freemans, and
peace out.
Peace out. Bye.